The Canary Islands of Spain is the ultimate destination for sun, sea, and sand, and also home to one of the most beautiful whistle languages in the world. Imagine living in a world where you can recognize someone by their whistle, a death announcement, birth of a newborn, or a barbecue call, just by a whistle. Such was and still is the way of life for the people of Silbo Gomera. Silbo Gomera is a unique whistling language used by the inhabitants of La Gomera, the second smallest island in the Canaries. These islands are a few kilometers northwest of the African mainland on the Atlantic Ocean. The Gomera whistle originated from the native inhabitants believed to be of North African origin, whose language was tonal. They were driven to extinction by the Spanish invasion of the islands in the 1400s. Spanish immigrants adapted the Gomera whistle into the Spanish language and found it easy to communicate by a whistling language over the mountainous geography of the islands. Due to the topography of the island, it is prone to fires among other natural disasters. Here's an interesting story. Back in the day, the locals would be forcefully whisked away by the guards to help put out fires without pay or protective gear. To avoid this forced labor, they would send out warning signals for people to hide from the guards, who fortunately did not understand the whistling language. This language almost became extinct after the 50s when most farmers and livestock keepers migrated in search of fertile grounds. There were very few native speakers in the 70s and 80s, but the government and locals actively worked to revive it in the 90s by making it a mandatory subject in all schools. The Gomera youth also established a dedicated center where they voluntarily teach the younger children the whistling language, all in a bid to revitalize and preserve their indigenous culture. UNESCO also boosted its protection by listing it as a masterpiece of the oral and intangible cultural heritage of humanity. The number of native speakers has increased since then, although technology continues to threaten its existence as it serves the same purpose the language did. Silbo Gomera is still widely used and is the most studied whistling language of the world. Language connects markets and people.